Assalamu alaikum everyone. Hope you're all in the best of your health. According to our today's lesson planner, we have adverbs, their comparative and superlative degrees. So before taking our entire questions, let us revise that what are adverbs. Adverb tells us more about the verb. It also tells us when, how, and where something's happening. So we are going to take some of the adverbs and we will change them in their comparative and superlative degrees. Let's begin with the first one. Our first question is related to those adverbs that are ending with ly. So the first and the foremost rule that we are going to remember is that those adverbs that ends with ly, we will always change them into their comparative and superlative degrees using more and most. Just like the first one, quickly, the word quickly, the adverb quickly ends with ly, so its comparative degree will be more quickly and superlative degree will be most quickly. The second example is fortunately. It will change into more fortunately and then most fortunately. Then we have hastily, more hastily, most hastily. And the last one that's given is pleasantly, more pleasantly, and most pleasantly. So the only thing that you're going to remember is that these adverbs are ending with ly, and the rule of changing the adverbs that ends with ly is that we will use more and most in their comparative and superlative degrees. So this was the first part. Moving towards the second one now. So our question number 2 is a little bit different from the first part. We have some of the adverbs here that has only one syllable, only one sound, just like hard, high, and late. So remember, when we have only one syllable word, we will simply change it using in its comparative and superlative degree using er and est, like hard, harder, hardest. Harder will be its comparative degree while hardest will be its superlative degree. So just put er in their comparative and est in their superlative, like high, higher, highest, late, later, latest. But over here there is a word that has two syllables. It's early. It's ending with y. So remember one thing, if you have any adverb that ends with y, just like early, easy, happy, all of these adverbs, first of all we will change y into I, and then we will use er and est. Like early, I will change y into I first, earli, and then I will use er, earlier, for its comparative degree. So just like this, I will change y into I and then I will use est for its superlative degree. Early, earlier, earliest. Easy, easier, easiest. Happy, happier, happiest. This is how you're going to change the adverbs that ends with y, while the others will simply change into er and est. So these were our first two parts. Moving towards our next two now. Now we are on our next part, which is related to irregular adverbs now. What are irregular adverbs? These are those adverbs which do not follow the pattern of changing forms of different verbs. Like most of the verbs, the verb pattern is ending with er or est, but these words are a little bit different. These adverbs are a little bit different. They have different forms while changing. They have different degrees while changing them into comparative and superlative degree. Like bad, worse, worst, late, later, latest or last, little, less, least, much, more, most, far, farther, farthest. Or we have some other examples of these adverbs like good, better, best. So this was the first question that was related to irregular adverbs. Try to learn and memorize this one. Now we will move towards the second one now. Now the second part is telling us more about the adverb, that the adverbs are usually placed after the verb in a sentence or after the direct object, but not always. So what's actually the place location of an adverb? That it is usually placed after the adverb in a sentence or after the direct object, but not always. For example, he walked slowly. Slowly is an adverb here. She read Urdu beautifully. So beautifully is also an adverb here. So what we are going to do in question number 2, we will simply complete the given sentences using adverbs of our own. And we will try to use all those adverbs that ends with ly. Let's begin with the first one, and we will complete the rest of the sentence too. Like the first one is, he drove hastily to the station. Hastily is an adverb here which means speedily or quickly. Then we have, she made a cake early this morning. Early is an adverb here. He speaks English, and how does he speak English? Fluently. Second last is, they dash come to see us at the weekend. They usually come to see us at the weekend. And the last one is, we dash see them during the week. We rarely see them during the week. This is how you're going to do part 2, and that was over today's lesson. That was related to adverbs and their comparative and superlative degrees. I hope you understood everything. Thanks for listening.